in our surveillance security and security services, Your Honors. And for the bar examinations and the just concluded September 2025 bar exams with 11,437 candidates, Your Honors, we have the number from the number of applicants, that is our with the adoption of 14 local testing centers. It was a successful one, I would say, Your Honor, because it come weather and everything, it really pushed through as scheduled. Thank you, Your Honor. The Sharia special bar exams, likewise, Your Honor, has just been concluded last May 25 and May 28, 2025, with a number of 758 applicants and local testing centers, 1 in NCR and 3 in Mindanao. For Halls of Justice project data, Your Honors, the new construction, 2 projects are completed, 5 are in the implementation stage, and ongoing procurement of works contractor are 9. And for our general repair and rehabilitation, 8 have already been completed, 20 are in their implementation stage, ongoing procurement of works contractor are 6. For refurbishment of office space, we have 24 that are completed, implementation are 4, and ongoing procurement works are 6. For the Philippine Judicial Academy, Your Honor, accomplishment report, as of December 31, 2024, we have arrived at a total of 3,391 core programs, special focus programs numbered 3,050, convention seminars 4,678, and mediation programs 387. Halfway through this year, Your Honor, as of June 30, 2025, our core programs still run a total of 1,599, with special focus programs numbering 1,175, convention seminars 5,180, mediation programs of 208. The judicial positions open for application per report of the Judicial and Bar Council as of December 31, 2024 is 168. As of June 30, 2025, 177. But applications have been processed by JPC and are ongoing. For our MCLE programs, Your Honor, a number of activities have been completed as of from January to December 2024, numbering 324. And as of June 2025, there are 78 MCLE programs that have been undertaken by our MCLE service providers. And that ends the presentation, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our Court Administrator, Justice Cuesta, for that very comprehensive and showing the excellent performance of the judiciary. You can see all the increases in terms of percentages of the targets and the actual performance. So now, we now go under the rule that the minority starts the interpellation. We call on Assistant Minority Leader, Attorney Chel Diokno. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Unang-una po, bilang isang tagapagtanggol ng karapatang pantao ng 36 na taon, ang mga kliyente ko ay mga nasa basic sectors po natin, mga manggagawa, mga mangingisda, at iba pang mga ordinaryong mamamayan. Sa kanilang pananaw ay medyo mabagal daw ang hustisya, medyo hindi raw patas ang justice dito sa atin. At in their view, maraming nakakalusot na dapat mapanagot, lalong-lalo na yung pagdating sa issues ng corruption. So I'd like to begin my questions with a few questions addressed to the Sandigan Bayan. I was looking at your report, the Honorable Justices, particularly the chart on aging of pending cases. And I noticed that there are 10 cases that have been pending, civil cases that have been pending since 1987. So that is roughly 38 years. Are these cases involving ill-gotten wealth? I know this is before your time. I'm just would like to know for information purposes.
Honorable Representative Diokno, may I be given the
Yes,
chance to
please.
answer that,
Thank
since
you.
I am the representative of the judiciary at this instance? It is fortunate, Your Honor, that I used to be an Associate Justice of the Sandigan Bayan, and that is true that way back in 1987, it is true that there are still existing cases if you look at the aging, but this will refer in particular to PCGG cases. You are correct, Your Honor, sequestration cases. Actually, a few of them I have. I was actually a member of the special division. Not the only reason is not because it has not moved, Your Honor, but because in that particular instance, Your Honor, if I can cite it, there were actually 3 partial judgments rendered, and only because they've answered a particular issue, and then the usual appeal process will go. But insofar as the other properties subject of the sequestration are concerned, there is no particular presentation of evidence on the part of the prosecution, which is why it may probably have appeared to have taken a little delay. But yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for that, Justice Estoesta. I also noticed from the same chart that there are 7 other criminal cases and 3 civil cases that have been pending before the Sandigan Bayan for over 20 years, and another 248 criminal cases pending for between 12 to 13 years. The reason I ask is because we know that the jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan is mainly graft and corruption and related cases. And I would think that we would want these kinds of cases to be resolved as quickly as possible. May I know what the judiciary is doing to address this backlog, or as you call it, aging of pending cases?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, since most of the adjudication process is really the authority of the courts themselves, the judiciary through the Honorable Supreme Court will address these backlogs by expediting our own procedural rules. We have developed through time the guidelines on continuous trial in criminal cases, which had a direct effect in the trial of criminal cases because it has removed the filing of what we now call the prohibited motions, such as a motion. Before, Your Honor, I'm sure you are very much aware of this. Before we can even arraign an accused in a criminal case, there are several motions that we need to rule on, such as a motion to quash. It starts with a motion for judicial determination of probable cause, if not a motion for reconsideration, which is pending before either the prosecutorial office of the Ombudsman, or the DOJ, or the prosecution office, and then followed by a motion to quash. So there are several others. So the continuous guidelines on criminal cases would now render them as prohibited. So it really fast track the trial period. I mean how we try cases before it reaches arraignment and trial. So yes, sir.
Interjection. So what are the prohibited motions now in criminal cases? Can you enumerate, so that this
Yes.
is quite new, no? This will prevent the delay of
Yes, Your
cases. You know, with the indulgence of
course,
our
of course,
Congressman
Mr. Chair.
Diokno.
Motion for judicial determination of probable cause, Your One, wala na po. Motion to quash unless it is on jurisdiction, res judicata, prescription, or litis pendentia. Motion for motion for reinvestigation. Actually, marami po. Motion for suspension of proceedings. And motion for postponement is one, Your Honor, unless it is an act of God or unavailability, physical unavailability of the witness.
Second one, that there is an exception, except for
Motion to quash, Your Honor, unless it is the issue is on jurisdiction, res judicata, prescription, or litis pendentia.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Congressman Diokno, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Your Honor.
Given the clamor nowadays of the people for accountability in terms of graft and corruption and related cases, we do hope that we can speed up all of these aging cases, and assure the public as well that all the incoming cases involving large-scale corruption will be resolved as quickly as possible. In connection with that, Madam Justice, may I just know, does the judiciary have a central monitoring system for ensuring that those who are convicted actually serve their sentences?
Your Honors, we have a central statistics office that can monitor and track the number of cases that are terminated by the lower courts, including the appellate courts. But once an accused is convicted, Your Honor, the jurisdiction is now with the BJMP, Your Honor, under the Department of Justice. Now, the court can come in when there is a probation applied for, but that still falls now within the jurisdiction of the Parole and Probation Office. How they are served? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for how we monitor, Your Honor. That is why we've created the JSCC, the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, because this is where we discuss the conditions of, let's say, a person is already convicted. Actually, Your Honor, if I may reveal it, as I've been only a court administrator for the past 3 weeks, and I've been receiving a lot of letters from detainees serving sentence from the National Bilibid Prison asking for their conditions inside the jail. And through the JSCC, Your Honor, we can discuss these matters and help out how the judges and the courts can alleviate their conditions. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, even the Supreme Court, through the court administrator, has mandated the judges to make mandatory jail visits to be able to check on the conditions of the detainees.
Meron po.
Able to just proceed with this observation. I think there should be a monitoring system. In other words, once there's a conviction, it does not mean that it is already with the BJMP or the police. In other words, the Congressman Diokno is saying that you should know that they are really served.
Yes.
So how can we go about that aside from this council? Yeah, we have to make sure that
Yes.
the justice is rendered, that the decision is executed. Can we hear from our justice? Monitoring of the service of sentence.
Yes, Your Honor. It's actually part of the Justice Sector Coordinating Council project, but these are all in the pipeline, Your Honor, because we really need to streamline such procedure. But that is a very relevant concern, Your Honor, because without the streamlined procedure and monitoring, ang nangyayari po kasi, one court, one judge, and then if there is a conviction and then there's a Supreme Court decision that appeals or confirms it or modifies it, then it goes back to the regional trial court. That's the time that the judge is, that's the trigger point to again check on the condition of the detainee or of the convicted accused. But with the JSCC, that's why it's very important, Your Honor, that we form them. These dialogues can be made regularly.
Please proceed, Congressman Diokno.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's precisely the reason why I'm asking. I'm particularly concerned, for example, with graft and corruption cases, and wondering how Congress can help the judiciary perhaps provide funds to create a database, not just involving the courts, but involving the Bucor and other agencies, to ensure that after all resources are spent by the courts that result in a conviction, that the persons who are actually convicted go to jail. Kasi sayang lang naman po yung oras kung na dumaan na hanggang appeal, na affirm, tapos hindi natin alam kung na-sentensyahan at nasa loob na po sila ng kulungan.
Yes, po.
Just a few more questions, if I may, Mr. Chair. Moving on to access to information regarding the judiciary, I am aware of this as a practitioner and as a human rights lawyer, that since 2012, the court has issued rules that require applications or requests for SALNs of members of the judiciary to be referred to the court en banc, and that the court may or may not grant those requests. I I asked this question in relation to Republic Act 6713, which in my understanding is a purely ministerial obligation on the part of persons holding SALNs to release them upon payment of a minimal fee. May I know if the court is reviewing